there, welcome back to Elevate Wellness. Today is part two of my interview with a woman that I partner with in wellness. Her name is Wanda, and she is going to be dropping some real gems with us. One of the things she's going to be sharing a little bit more about is her relationship with food and how that really was an eye opener or a game changer for her. And she's going to be sharing some tips with you as to how you can get started on your fitness journey as well. Now, I want to make mention that if you want to get started and you haven't quite gotten there yet, I have the perfect challenge for you. And the name of this challenge is the 2130 Fitness Challenge. The goal for this challenge is to help you form that new habit. You've probably heard before that it takes 21 days to form a new habit. But I want to let you know that after that habit has been formed, there's still some work that needs to be done. So, what I've done is I've completed a program for you that's only 21 days to help you form that new habit. Now, the reason why I did this is so that you will have a better understanding of who you are, what time of day you feel more energized. You'll understand a little bit more about how to fuel your body, and there's so much more in it. So go ahead, if you want to get started, stop by latanyabaruch.com and sign up for my 2130 fitness challenge. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Enjoy. Your numbers are coming back great from your doctor's visits. You feel great, you look great, your skin looks good, your hair is always beautiful. Like, it's working. It's
Oh,
working.
yeah,
Yeah. It's,
it
you
is
know,
working. And
it,
thank you. It's been life changing. Yeah.
yeah.
For
Yeah.
hmm
In that little bit of time, that little bit
yes,
of time,
ma'am.
that's wonderful. Yeah. So food really is medicine. And we want to look at, okay, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. Now, can you share, Wanda, a few things of food that you found really does not work for you like it used to or like you thought it did?
Oh, that's interesting. Something that does not work for me. So I guess dairy.
Mm,
I'm clear on the dairy.
okay.
I have eliminated dairy and I've come back to dairy and I always notice when I come back issues, digestive issues. Almost immediately
Real.
from ingesting dairy. So I always minimized, even as a young child, I always had to minimize dairy because, but as a child, you want ice cream when everybody
Hmm.
else has ice cream. You want pizza when everybody else is having pizza, etc. But I recognize it's not for me. My body rejects it every time. So trying to think up. So, and there's other things that I'm allergic to, like shellfish, etc. Um, but other than that, I don't, I won't say like you tell me that there's bad food. Um, I won't say that because I have not stopped completely having treats, and nor do I ever plan to.
Good.
So,
Good. Good.
so that helps me stay sane.
Hmm.
Um, it helps me just get through and not have that urge to binge on anything because I know that there's nothing off limits for me.
Right.
You
Right. Right.
so
Yeah. Yeah. You develop a sense of freedom when you understand there's nothing off the table, right?
right,
There's
right,
nothing off the table. And then also you've learned um, how to have a treat, which I love that word treat, not cheat, because we don't cheat our bodies, right? We don't
right.
cheat. We don't need to cheat
No,
because we get to have whatever right? We have the freedom. So there's no
right,
need to cheat when we have the freedom to enjoy food, right?
right,
It's
right.
how do we have the food? It's incorporating balance into the food. And you've definitely demonstrated that. And I also commend you on the fact that you can journal that I had a piece of cake, right? Because there's no need to hide. There's no need to hide or feel guilty or shame for having it's a slice of cake,
Right.
right?
Right.
There's no need to have that. And again, in the I worked for a weight loss business before. They're no longer in business, but they taught us because we have to go through a certification program and everything. But they taught us that it's always about numbers. Never tell any of the clients you work with to work out because the number's going to weigh more on the. They're going to weigh more on the scale.
Mm.
And yes, and encourage them to have these diet foods that they sold. And so
Mm.
that's really, they made a profit from, selling these protein bars that were really candy bars, right?
Mm.
There
Right.
was a certain type of juice where you had to reset for about 5 days. You only drank that, I think, 1 meal a day in water. People lost 5 to 7 pounds, but of course you did because you weren't, right? So we were
Weren't
selling,
eating. Right.
yeah, yeah. And that is really
And
not,
drinking sugar. Right.
yes, loads of
Hmm.
sugar, loads
Right.
of sugar, right? And preservatives as well. Let's go ahead and tell the
Yeah.
preservatives as well, right? But
Right.
you actually have a whole foods diet. So I'll see when Wanda shares something, she has like black eyed peas, she had some spinach on there, she has some quinoa on there. Um,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
some mushrooms in there that she made. It was just a gorgeous plate of variety of plants. Beautiful, beautiful. Um, how do you, Wanda, with having the treat and having, a full-time job and all of that, how do you stay on track?
Oh, so I think I try to keep my why in the front
Mhm,
of my mind. Um, why is this important? Um, what is the intent and the goal? And how do you feel now that you're here?
mhm,
And I know that my why is because I want to live not just a long life, but I want to live a vibrant, healthy life. I don't want to live life not being able to walk a flight or two of stairs or without, you know, being mobile.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
that's not the life that I want to live. Um, I want to maintain strength and stamina. I want to sleep well, and the accountability also is a big factor for me to help me stay on track. Um, so yeah, I just remember why I need to do this and try to get the help that I need to maintain that.
That's
Yep.
great. Great. Yeah. You know, 2 points to that comment. Knowing your why is very important. And as long as you keep that before you, it really helps to keep us, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Even on those days when you don't feel like it, you remember
Yes.
why.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
yeah. It's because they're going
You,
to be days, right? They're
yes,
going,
ma'am. You know that for sure.
yeah,
I tell you in the morning, oh, I wanted to sleep this morning,
right, right,
but
right. Exactly.
yeah, but I get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get up and you have remained consistent, which is such a joy. But keeping that why before you, but also understanding accountability is important. I think a lot of times we have the desire to change, to transform our lives, but it's the accountability piece that we need. Myself included, in whatever area, if I'm striving towards something, I need to find accountability in that area so that I continue to stay on track, right?
Right.
And it's important that we can be honest with, I need accountability in whatever area that is, right? That's what
Absolutely.
really keeps us on track. So that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, I love that. Now, whenever you are, you're on track and you're enjoying these foods, can you share what a typical day of food looks like? What is your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, snacks, anything? What does that look like for you?
Hmm. Okay. So it varies. Because there are days where I actually go into the office a couple of days a week now. But so breakfast sometimes can be leftovers and or oatmeal with nuts and fruit. Like I may add bananas, raisins, craisins, walnuts. I've lately stopped adding sugar and fat, meaning butter, to my oatmeal. But I don't miss it. I eat it with, and sometimes maybe some flax seed or some, oh gosh, I just went blank, but some flaxseed meal.
Mm-hmm.
And for lunch and dinner, it could be a combination. It's typically a combination of a whole grain, like a quinoa or brown rice, um, sweet potato, potatoes, um, what else? Beans, lentils, chickpeas, spinach, collards, black eyed peas, just whatever I feel like. I'm in them carrots. I always cook with garlic and onion and sometimes the peppers. I could eat, and on the days when I go into the office, there's like a buffet in the cafeteria, and I could eat corn, avocado, beets, kale, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, squash, zucchini, cabbage, and sometimes a little bit of all of that in one sitting. As crazy as that sounds, but literally a huge amount of food. And yeah, and I love it. My taste buds, I think, have changed, and I appreciate the taste and the flavors now of vegetables with balsamic vinegar, with lemon, with seasonings. I'm always trying something new now. So
Yeah,
and enjoying.
that's good. I do, and I see that level of excitement in you, and just being inspired by the flavors. I know it, I see sometimes that when people are heightened on the junk food a lot, they tend to gravitate toward the salt, toward the sugar. It doesn't have any flavor, is what you hear. I need to add more sugar. I need to add more salt. But what you're saying is you're enjoying those flavors, and so you're putting spices and things on it to enhance the flavors of those foods, and you're actually finding now that you are enjoying those flavors and the variety of flavors, because the thing about eating more vegetables too are they're very low in calories,
Right.
but they have so many minerals. They're nutritionally dense, and so you have to eat more plants because they're so low. I mean,
Yeah.
lettuce I think is maybe 10, 15 calories per cup or two.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
you're having to eat a whole lot more because they're
I
so low,
do.
right? Yeah. And
Yes. I
yeah,
eat a lot more now.
yeah, eating a
Mhm.
lot more. That's beautiful. And in eating a lot more,
And
you're I'm sorry.
no, no, no. Go ahead.
Oh,
I was gonna say and the fruit as well. I eat a lot of the fruit too.
oh, good. Yeah. And the
Mhm.
fruit is great because it's a natural sugar, right? Not a processed sugar and
Right.
things like that. That's wonderful. And I also heard you say you're not craving the fat, right? You're not. So
I'm
you,
not.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not. And I go on these. I have been on these roller coasters, and I call it, releasing the dragon or waking up the dragon in me
Hmm.
when I have consistently eaten the salt, fat, and sugar.
Hmm.
Um, I My body craves it.
Hmm.
I think that's true for most people.
Hmm.
You continue to eat it, your body is like, oh yeah, we love this stuff. Give me more, give me more. So I have kind of weaned myself off of all of that. And now I can add back a treat occasionally and not have that beast flare
Mhm.
up again.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I'm enjoying the flavors of I guess my palate has cleansed as a result of not eating a lot of that. And it's kind of, some people say it happens gradually, they can gradually reduce. And some people it's cold turkey. Yeah. And I've done both ways and they both work for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, there's in the medical world, I know they used to call it this. I don't know what they call it now, but they used to call it the trifecta, and it was
Mm,
um high cholesterol, diabetes, and high blood pressure. They all kind of
mm,
together
yes,
when we
ma'am.
have those high fat, how high unhealthy fat, right? The trans
Hmm.
fats, the fried foods, the fried, things like that. High salted foods, high sugary foods, where you get like that comatose feeling. You need to take a nap. You're so
Oh,
just,
God.
you
Yeah.
know, void of nutrients and loaded with fat, unhealthy fat, salt, and sugar, right? And
Right.
just by you changing your diet, adding some exercise, the type of exercise that we do helps to also burn body fat, increase more muscle, which helps with regulation as well as cortisol levels, hormonal levels. It pairs well, and then you're getting your sleep at night. All of that pairs well with helping your body to really come back into balance. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, that's really really good. Now, whenever we look at experience, right? Experience is something that it's a treasure chest. When you look at what you've learned about yourself, since this experience, since working together, what would you say? Could you share with us a few things that you've learned about yourself?
Oh, so I guess I've learned that, all things are possible.
Amen.
God gives us this ability to do, but we have to do the work.
Mm.
Faith without works is dead. And, we can do all things.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that now. Like, I really believe that now because I'm walking in it. Although it's hard sometimes to do it consistently because, we're human. Things we want to do, other things we want to have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we want to have treats more than we probably should.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess uh, you have to be willing to put in the consistent, long term, day in and day out work
Mm.
over and it has to become like a lifestyle, a habit. It and just as natural as breathing, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe, I guess, that I could be without dairy or I could be without meat even.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it hasn't been that long, but I'm good. Like I'm doing this and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not feeling begrudged about it,
Mm.
that I'm really missing something because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not. And I also know that if I feel like that, I could have a little bit of something.
Right. Right.
So I've also learned that I have to have accountability until I can build good habits consistently.
Mm.
Um, some people can spring up and spring into action and do it consistently, and I can do it, but it won't be consistently, So I've learned that about myself, and to thine own self be true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that what works best for me, and that is what works best for me. So those are some of the things I've learned about myself.
Good. That's good. Yeah. Um, with the food and not having the cravings and understanding balance and all of that, those are great gems that you can carry with you. And I think it's profound that you mentioned habits, almost like breathing. And you're right. It takes time, they say in the industry, it takes, I think, 21 days to create a new habit, but to create a new habit, but you still wrestle with, right?
Yes. Yeah.
For weeks, right?
Yes.
For weeks, you still wrestle, although you've created it. The old habits die hard, right? So something
Yes.
can throw you off, and there you go back into the. And so the
Mhm.
accountability piece kind of pulls you back. Okay, so how do we get back on track, right? You've also mentioned that some people can do cold turkey, or they can kind of wean themselves back, and that's great to be able to exercise both. But it's having that accountability that pulls you back on track, does not shame you or judge you, because it's life. It happens
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
everyone, right? It
Yeah.
happens. Is happening to all of us. It really
Yes.
is happening, right? It's happening
Yes.
to all of us. And
And
so being able to do that, but also the that experience that you have, that about yourself, and you can take that with you for years and years and years to come. You want not just quantity of years, but you want quality in those years, right? And so
absolutely.
that's the goal. Some people say, oh, I want a six pack or I want a that. And that's really those extreme temporary type diets. And that's okay if that's what someone is looking for. But that's not my client. I work with those who really want to elevate wellness and really enjoy the life that they have,
Yeah.
the life they've been given by God, right?
Right.
And as Creator gives us the life, we need to be a co-laborer in that, right? Working
Right.
and doing the work,
Right.
and you get up
Absolutely.
every, and you do that work. You
Yes.
work. Yeah,
Absolutely. I
yeah,
fight through it. I have to. Have to. It's
yeah.
important. And I'm
I
so grateful for you. I
oh
am.
yeah, I love working with you. I really do. Um, I also want to make mention to the audience too that Wanda also does meal prep. So she does meal prep on a weekly basis. She knows what she's gonna have.
Yeah.
She already has it in mind. She already knows what she's going to the grocery store to get. And I want to mention that because a lot of times we go to the grocery store and then wonder what we should get.
Right. 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 Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you know what you're going to get when you go there. You know
Yeah.
you know what's running low, right? Which lets
Yes.
that you track. You track what's getting low. You track what you need to get, right? You track what you need to make. And that relationship, that habit now has formed in a way now that it's really serving you quite well, right?
Mm,
Serving you quite well.
yes.
Okay, so Wanda, what advice? Let's say that there's someone on this call who is listening in for the first time, and they're thinking they are where you were, right? They are where many of us were when we said, "I have to do something different," and they're not quite sure, what to do, how to get started. What would you recommend for that person?
So I would say, decide what you want um, for yourself, for your family, for your health, and then create or get help creating a plan to get there. I would say you are worth it. You
Mm.
deserve it. You need it. It will take commitment. It will take consistency. It might be a little hard, but we can do the hard things. Um, Slow and steady, we know, wins the race, and fast results can happen, but typically they're a little temporary. Typically, those results, you kind of fall back into old habits and gain weight back or whatever the case is. So yeah, I would just say, you are worth it. You are worthy. You deserve it, and you should do it today.
Mm.
Start with Start with one or two healthy habits and do it.
I like that. Um, I like what you said about regaining the weight, and I was trying to find the statistics, but there are statistics on that. Um, and
Look,
I'm
I
looking,
know it's
I'm,
happened to me, so I already know. But go
yeah,
ahead. Mhm.
yeah. I just Googled, anyone can go on Google. We like to do our little Google searches, but if you just, just searching it up, it says only 20% of Americans who lose weight are able to keep it off long term. And research has found this. Now, I've heard studies, I've read studies, I've listened to studies, and it's not common. When you look at only 20% of people keep it off. There are a few things that help to support that weight loss. It's community, it's accountability, and it's habit change.
Mm,
Another thing that diet teaches us is it teaches us I can do this for 8 weeks and then I don't have to do it anymore.
mm,
And one of the reasons why we um, typically gain the weight and more back is because we have reduced our muscle. So for anyone who's
mm,
gotten sick, I know I had COVID before and I dropped about 10 pounds with COVID. I've heard people
mhm,
losing about 15 pounds with COVID men.
mhm.
A gentleman I spoke with, he lost about 15 pounds, but that's because it's muscle loss. You're not eating,
Right,
right? Your body
right.
is atrophy. You're weak. You don't have the same
Hmm.
strength after that, right? Even a flu or a cold, if you've been sick for a while, atrophy is real. And so the body
Very real.
is very real. And so we say, oh, I lost, 5 pounds in the first week. A lot of times that's water weight, but also muscle. So then what happens is when
Mm,
we lose that muscle tissue, that metabolism has decreased. And so when we go back to our old ways, right, we find that the slower metabolism, now the same food you ate, is causing you to gain weight, but at a faster rate. And this is why
mm,
I don't coach that way. This is why you're
mm,
learning what foods work for you. You're learning
mhm.
how to listen to your body. What do I need? What is my body saying? Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? All of
Mhm.
those little things, those little nuances is what you navigate through and you have a better understanding of. And we've done that work. You have done the work, right? You've done the
Mm,
work. I'm a little hungrier today. What do I need? And of course you would be because of the type of workouts we did, right? So
right,
what type of food do I put in there? You've learned that. How do I have my
right.
treat? You've learned that, right? All of those
I
great
have,
things. Yeah, you've increased your water.
I
So
have.
all of that is has changed your body. Your body functions differently. Even the way you sweat now during a workout is different.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Even though
absolutely. I sweat more now.
you sweat more.
Yes, I,
Yes,
I
yes,
do.
yes. And you sweat more because you have increased your muscle mass. You've increased your muscle. You get hotter faster when you have more muscle. So you sweat. It's a heartier sweat, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
yes,
Drip, drip, drip. Yes,
yes, yes,
yes,
yes, yes. So
yes.
um, it is a beautiful transformation. You can see it, you can hear it, the way you move, all of it is just phenomenal, phenomenal to watch. Um,
Mm,
Wanda, I just want to thank you so much for your time, sharing your journey, a little bit about your journey with us and your experience
mm.
and all of the gems. I'm going to let you get back to your day, but is there anything you would like to say before you get off to any of the listeners?
I, I just want to say thank you.
Hmm.
I am grateful for you. You are a dynamic, inspiring, encouraging, supportive, nurturing teacher.
Oh,
Um, I am so lucky and grateful and blessed to be under your tutelage. I have learned a lot from you. I have grown from you, and I see great things for you in your future, continued great things, because you already have great things happening in your life. Um, she pushes me, y'all. And I tease her and I tell her she gets the butter from the duck, as my mother would say. So, but yes, thank you. I'm so appreciative of you.
You are so
Yes.
welcome, Wanda. You're so welcome. And I like to, when I'm working with someone, I don't like the word client typically, but when I'm working with someone, I usually say, I'll ask Wanda, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being intense, how would you rate this workout? And I have to tell you, oftentimes she says, it's about an 8.5 and a 9. So I want you to know that Wanda is working. She's not doing, 2, 3 on the scale workout. She's past midway. She's really working. And I have to say that we've done the work. Her cardiovascular strength and endurance and stamina has dramatically increased. And that has really given us the ability to go heavier with the weight. And I also have to let you know too, Wanda, I see change in her every 3 to 4 weeks. We have to change that workout. We have to advance that workout a little bit because she responds very well to the workouts. She responds very well to it. So, Wanda, thank you again for your time and just sharing your journey. It is an honor. It really is. My life is full because I get to do my life work. I get to share my passion with others and see you benefit. So that's a double blessing, triple, manifold blessing. Just to be able to experience that with you. So thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Very welcome and thank you.